Not quite yet. Maybe next week. Been writing a lot.
Hey man, appreciate you. Thank you very much. I didn't see there.
No, you're fine, man. I'm just paying attention, watching.
So you guys are flying around as much as I fly around all the time.
My points are adding up.
Need my stuff. Where's Kyle? Oh, hey, Cal. I wonder. Oh, you get him? I want to tell y'all one thing that's going to happen, and that is there's going to be a lot of signing pins for these bills. I want to make sure every family gets one of these pins. Okay. So it's complicated to organize. I want to make sure that I'm going to try to hand one to each of you. So maybe after the signing, I think the plan is for y'all to go inside. But if you can stay right here and one family member, make sure that everybody gets a pin. Okay. Thank you very much. Good morning, and thank everybody for being here. I especially want to thank the Lieutenant Governor who's with us, as well as the Speaker who's not with us. He and I were with the Speaker last night. One thing we know for a fact, and that is the laws I'm about to sign would not be here today without the leadership of both the Lieutenant Governor and the Speaker. I also want to thank these bill authors who made sure that they listened to the needs of everybody who had concerns about this and addressed those concerns, and were able to quickly draft and get past some of the most comprehensive pieces of legislation in a long time. One is State Representative Drew Darby, the other is State Senator Perry. I thank them for their leadership. Also, we have with us here today many members of both the Texas House and Texas Senate. They're here because they join in this cause. They join in this concern, knowing the need, the imperative that we as state leaders have to ensure safety for our citizens, safety in every region of our state. One of the components of those safety is to ensure that our campgrounds, especially for our youth, are going to be safer for years to come. Also want to thank these parents who join behind us. And right here is the First Lady of Texas, Cecilia Abbott. These parents came right here to the governor's mansion and met with Cecilia and me the day before the second special session, the one that was just completed. Their hearts were broken. Their spirits were crushed. They shared the beauty of their daughters' souls. And after we discussed with everybody in the entire room, there was not a dry eye in the entire room. They dropped their daughters off at camp expecting to be able to see them again very soon. They had no clue they would never see those daughters again. they pleaded for swift action. They pleaded that their daughters did not die in vain. They wanted laws to be passed so that other parents would not experience the hell that they have been through. They pleaded for camp safety. I told them that the number one item on the special session agenda that would be starting the next day would be camp safety. The legislature understood that mission, understood the urgency. They dug into details, they tapped into empathy, and they delivered that they delivered laws that will be in effect when camps open this next summer. Laws that make youth camps safer. Senate Bill 1, the Heavens 27 Camp Safety Act, and House Bill 1, the Camper Act, instill enduring safety into youth camp operations. Together, they require a lot of things. I'll summarize just a few. They install and maintain emergency alert systems, train staff on evacuation routes and procedures, require them to develop emergency plans, require cabins to be located away from floodplains, require camps to be able to communicate with campers and staff during emergencies. They create a youth camp safety team, establish minimum camper to counselor ratios, mandate state inspections to ensure compliance with emergency procedures. I will also be signing today Senate Bill 3. This requires local governments in flood-prone areas to install outdoor siren and warning systems. State grants will be provided to assist in helping those local governments have those warning systems. All of this is in addition to nearly $300 million in funding to help respond to the floods, plus laws to eliminate fraud during disasters. For Cecilia and myself, as camper parents, Cecilia and I know the powerful role that camps can play in the lives of our children. We know the anxious anticipation to see our child again after dropping her off at camp. Every child who goes to camp should come home to their families. No parent should ever have to outlive their child or endure this kind of loss. So today, through these laws, we are doing more than just changing campgrounds in Texas. We are changing the future for our children and for their families. Improved and safer camp safety is now law in the great state of Texas, a law that will save lives. Now, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick.
Thank you, Governor. Everyone knows I'm never lost for words, but today I am. A lot of words in my heart for these precious angels that we lost. And to share with you and the media and the public, these families have been so gracious to us in their time of need and pain. They were gracious to Drew and the governor and the speaker and Senator Perry, never wanting to burden us, just to ask us to do this. We sign about 1,100 bills this session, Governor. These are the most important. And I know the speaker couldn't be here, but on day one, and we had a lot of bills on the call, a lot of important things, but the reason there's Senate Bill 1 and House Bill 1 and Senate Bill 3 and Senate Bill 5 that funded these programs sends the message, these were the most important things this session that we did. We will be eternally connected, and we'll always be here for them. These are courageous families. And I said on the Senate floor when Senate Bill 1 passed, our two camp counselors who lost their lives, 18 years of age, true Texas heroes that can go down and should go down with the great names of Texas history. They stayed behind when they could have gotten away. They stayed with the girls they were in charge of. They stayed and sacrificed their lives. Be hard-pressed to find someone 30 or 40 or 50. Hard-pressed to find anyone. As the Bible says, the greatest you can ever do is give your life for another. They gave their lives. And I think, Governor, we'll find a way not only to remember all of these girls, but to memorialize those two camp counselors. They need to be honored. I'm going to turn this over to Senator. You sure? Sure. Charles Perry, who withdrew, marshaled these bills through the Senate and the House.
Lieutenant Governor, Governor, Representative Darby, I just remind folks that we still have one child out there.
Yes.
And we have to keep that, Governor, and as you have, that Silstert, still someone we're going to find. Right. We're going to do everything we can. So every time we have one of these, I think it's important to remind the public that we're still engaged and still looking for Sil.
Governor, can I just add something? And I looked at Drew. These two camp counselors are an example for everyone. I think that we should have a portrait of one in the House and a portrait of one in the Senate that will be in our Capitol forever and send a message of what true Texas heroism is.
Thank you, Governor and Lieutenant Governor. Without your leadership, we would not be here today. Just to think that in the early morning of July, late evening of July 3rd, when this event was originating, we were on the floor of the Texas House and the Texas Senate passing these bills within 60 days. That is a testament to the commitment of the folks behind me. That is a testament to the members of the Texas legislature behind on the mansion floor. It is a testament to folks in this audience who have given their time and effort to organize and to make sure the bills were reflected the true needs of the calling. And so I just want to thank everyone connected to this. Without everyone's pulling, this would not have happened in the time frame. Thank you, Governor and Lieutenant Governor, for your leadership in that regard.
Thank you very much. I'm going to hand out these pins to the families. I'll be happy after that to come back here and take a few questions.
questions.
So what?
He's going to come around and do questions. So Kerry. He's going to come to us.
Right here.
Just give me 1 second.
Hey, how's it going?
Hold on. Guys, stop.
Wait.
1 second.
Wait.
All right, go ahead.
Governor, any reason to call lawmakers back to maybe do the interoperability communications bill or anything related to this flight?
We will evaluate those options later on. Thank you.
Governor, you are embracing a lot of family members today. You can't bring these kids back. What are you feeling?
So we also had an opportunity to embrace all those families about a month ago. And probably the most powerful moment that I've been involved in since I've been together. It was extraordinarily emotionally wrenching. And we walked through the lives of all the daughters and what they meant, who they were, and what their future would have been. And what they had to say was so compelling. I knew we needed to take action. But they were clear. There was one remedy for what they were going through, and that is to ensure their daughters' lives were not lost in vain, and they wanted to see the Camp Safety Act passed. And so this is a step toward the pathway to healing for these families.
Some of the business owners down along the river are worried that this legislation will put them out of business. You and I flew over that gorge. It's a dangerous spot. What do you say to those business owners who say, at least help us move, or build back better?
Well, and listen, there are a lot of different possibilities of the way that this will be approached going forward. One is through elevation. The other would be possible movement. It depends on what happened to each business, if you would. Was it totally decimated? Was it minorly damaged? And where exactly are they located? Different things like that. To be clear, however, what this legislation does, it talks about distancing from the floodplain for camps, not other businesses. Camps are a huge business down there. But the camps, all of them, understand the necessity of making sure that they provide a safe place for the cabins for the children who go to those camps.
We've got 2 more.
How crucial was it to make sure this legislation gets passed in time for next summer camp season?
Essential. So the timing was very important. This does give a time runway that provides clarity and specificity for what these camps need to do. I believe they have the time to be able to get their camps up and running by next summer, which is very important to them, very important to their families, very important to the community there, because the camps are a big business driver of the entire community. But also very important that when they do open up, there will be safety standards installed that will make parents feel far more comfortable.
And can you discuss how Senate Bill 3, which you also signed, will help with that, ahead of the next summer season?
Sure, you're talking about the warning systems, things like that. So one of the challenges that occurred during this episode was no warning system. No one knew what was coming. And there were several reasons for that. One is because the warning system itself did not exist, but the other is the inability to obtain updated, accurate information, in part because of the inability to connect to the internet and things like that. So we're looking to provide grant funding from the state of Texas to ensure that flood-prone areas like this are going to have the warning systems they need by this next summer camp time period, to make sure that if an event like this does occur again, those warning systems will go off in a way that will do everything possible to protect lives.
Governor, off topic, the THC, the hemp products that they can get done, are you willing to wait till 27, or you can maybe thinking about a callback sometime around January?
I would say stay tuned on that. Something may be happening soon.
All right, thanks guys.
All right.
Thank you everyone.